Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you will be updated on all my future content. So if you were part of my last live stream, you saw I did a poll and I asked the question, do you want my next live stream to be reducing fractions to lowest terms? Of the 10 people that voted, 90% said that that's what they want my next live stream to be. They want it to focus on reducing fractions to lowest terms. So that is going to be the focus for this live stream. I listen to my viewers. So we're going to start out by reducing 42/45 to lowest terms. Now, one of the quickest, most efficient ways to reduce fractions to lowest terms is to divide both the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor. So we have to figure out what the greatest common factor is between 42 and 45. So I'm going to make the factors of 45 and 42. So we have 1 and 42. We have 2 and 21. We have 3 and 14. I think that's it. Now the factors of 45. So we have 1 and 45. We have 3 and 15. We have 5 and we have 9, and we have to find the greatest common factor. That's what we have to divide by for lowest terms. Now, out of all the factors, the biggest factor here is 45, but that's not the greatest common factor, because 45 is obviously not a factor of 42. Now, looking at the factors of 42, 21, even though 21 is a factor of 42, it's not a factor of 45, so that wouldn't work. 15 is a factor of 45, but it's not a factor of 42. The greatest common factor, we circle all the common factors. So we have 1, we have 3, and that's it for our common factor. So the greatest common factor is 3. So 3 is what we need to divide by. So we're going to do 42 divided by 3 and 45 divided by 3. So 42 divided by 3 equals 14, and 45 divided by 3 equals 15. So we have our final answer. Let me make that 5 a little bit neater. It is important to make your writing as neat as possible. 42/45 reduced to lowest terms equals 14/50. All right, next example. This live stream is going to be a little bit shorter because I do need to make a phone call, but I'm going to do at least a couple examples. Do at least a couple. All right, 18/24. Need to reduce that to lowest terms. So I'm going to find all of the factors between 24 and 18. And I am going to divide by the greatest common factor. So for 18, we have 1, we have 18. We have 2, we have 9. We have 3, we have 6. Now for 24. 1 and 24. 2 and 12. And we have 4 and 6. So we are looking for the greatest common factor. Out of all the factors, even though 24 is the biggest number, it's not a common factor. 24 is not a factor of 18. 18 is not a factor of 24. 9 is not a factor of 24. 12 is a factor of 24, but not a factor of 18. So we have to find the greatest common factor. So I'm going to find out the common factors. So we have 1 and 1. We have 2 and 2. We have 6 and 6. So 6 would be the greatest common factor. That's the largest factor that both numbers have in common. So we're going to divide by 6. (18) divided by 6 equals 3. Again, I got to make my numbers a little neater. Neatness matters. And 24 divided by 6 equals 4. And we have our final answer, 18/24 reduced to lowest terms equals 3/4. All right, stay tuned for the final example of the video. Shout out to everybody tuning in. I appreciate you. So next fraction that we're going to reduce to lowest terms, 12/30. So again, I'm going to find all the common factors between 12 and 30. So factors of 12, we have 1, we have 12, we have 2, we have 6. We have 3 and we have 4. Now the factors of 30, 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and lastly we have 5 and 6. And again, we need to divide by the greatest common factor. So out of all the factors, 30 is the biggest number, but it's not common. 30 is not a factor of 12. 15 is a factor of 30, but it's not a factor of 12. 12 is a factor of 12, but it's not a factor of 30. So we want to find the greatest factor that both the numerator and the denominator have in common. So 1 is a common factor between the numerator and the denominator. 2 is a common factor. 3 is a common factor. 10 would be a factor of 30, but not a factor of 12. And 6 is a common factor. So the greatest common factor between 12 and 30 would be 6. So that's what we're going to divide by. So 12 divided by 6 equals 2. 30 divided by 6 equals 5. And we have our final answer. 12/30 reduced to lowest terms is equal to 2/5. I don't want to end with just 3 examples, so I'll do one more example. one more example, and then we will call it a video. Alright, for this next one, keep it kind of simple, 16/20ths. Alright, so we're going to find all the factors between 16 and 20. We want to find the greatest common factor. So the factors of 16 are 1, 2, or 1/16. Should be using an eraser. 1/16, 2 and 8, and 4. Factors of 20 are 1, 20, 2, 10, five, and 4. So again, we have to look for the greatest common factor, not the greatest factor. So out of our common factors, we have 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 4 and 4. Now again, 4 is not the biggest factor overall. There's bigger numbers. We have 8, but 8's not a factor of 20. It's only a factor of 16. 10 is not a factor of 16. It's only a factor of 20. So the greatest common factor between our numerator and our denominator is 4. So 4 is what we're going to divide by. So 16 divided by 4 equals 4. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. And we have our final answer, 16/20ths, reduced to lowest terms, equals 4/5. Alright, that is my video for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. And if there is an area of math or reading that you're having difficulty with, put that in the comments and I will do a future video on that skill. Until next time, this is Mr. Camilleri signing off. Have a great day and God bless.